hate having a phone. I hate it so much. I didn't get a phone till high school, which I know isn't as common for a lot of people my age, because most people I know have had a phone since like early middle school, if not earlier than that. But I was held back from that for a long time, and it really hurt for a long time because I always felt excluded, and I felt this really big sense of like FOMO. And for my freshman year, I had a flip phone, which was a lot better, but it came with its own struggles. Like I felt this like sense of embarrassment because I'd go to school, and honestly, most people thought it was like really freaking cool. Every once in a while, there'd be someone who was like judging me for it, but I was kind of like whatever. But like in the back of my mind, it still stung a little bit. And not only that, but there were still a lot of like limitations. Like I couldn't download apps or have social media, which sucked for me at the time. And now I'm halfway through my junior year, and I've had a phone for a while now, and I hate it. I hate it so much. I want to go back to having a flip phone. It just sucks so much. I desperately want my flip phone back, or I just wished I had never gotten a phone to begin with, because my brain just feels so fucked up. Like honestly, I still remember the pain of not having a phone before. I still remember the pain of being able to wanting to pursue projects and not being able to, or wanting to talk to my friends instead of hanging out outside of school and not being able to. But I was so productive. I was so creative, and in school I did so well. Freshman year I had straight A's, and throughout middle school I hardly tried, and my grades weren't the best, but my teachers knew I was smart. And even like now, not like, I don't want to sound like conceited, but I look at everyone else around me, and I do feel like I am a little bit ahead of them, if that makes sense. And I really only attribute that to not having had a phone for as long as other people have. And say like I compare myself to like people who I know who like still don't have a phone, or who have barely just gotten a phone. And they are even more productive than me. They are incredibly smart. I'm thinking of this one friend specifically who hardly got a phone like less than a year ago, and who was forced to read books growing up, which I think is really rare for a lot of parents among people my age, like for parents of people my age. Like this one friend, they were forced to read books growing up. They were forced to have piano lessons, but they are so smart now and so creative. And I envy them a little bit, even though I know I could be just like them. But I'm finding myself right now. I'm with it, like for like the last 2 years, maybe since like I started high school or around sophomore year, I found myself in this sort of like limbo of like having so many projects and ideas that I want to pursue, but then I'm just like a slave to my phone, and like an entire day that I could have spent like working on my projects, I waste like doom scrolling or like texting people, or even if it's just watching YouTube. I feel like I'm being productive because I'm watching like smart-ish videos on YouTube, but I'm not, because I'm still just consuming, and I'm not creating. I wish this could be like a motivational video, but it's honestly just me complaining, and I feel like there are probably other people my age who have the same complaints. So I'm just kind of hoping to sympathize a little bit with other people, or maybe have people who are able to sympathize with me and provide solutions, even though I've spent like countless hours like surfing YouTube, finding ways to end this kind of cycle. Like, and honestly, the thing is, I've tried to like I offered the idea of going back to my flip phone to my parents, and they just shot it down because my mom specifically, I think, wants me to have a phone so she can track me, which also kind of sucks, but that's just the age we live in of like technology and all that. Yeah. And I feel like I could have the discipline to be able to change my ways, and I've attempted multiple times before to try and change my habits so I can like get shit done. But and honestly, not just technology. I feel like technology and just constant like stimulation is a part of it, but I've also had other habits in the past that I feel like kind of ruined my self-control and discipline and like impulsivity. But I feel like those systems in my brain are just totally wrecked, and like it feels kind of impossible to try and like choose key over bread, if you understand my analogy. yeah, as soon as I can, if I move out, I'm gonna get rid of my phone. Like, I would do it now, but my parents are kind of stopping me from doing so. And I know it sounds like I'm just saying that, but I'm not. And I feel like I think the 2030s are, I think the 2030s is gonna be a cultural renaissance. Like, shit kind of sucks right now, but I have a lot of faith for the 2030s because I feel like there are a lot of people my age who have the same sentiment about it as I do, and I feel like there's gonna be kind of a wave of people going back to like physical media and all, and like just like getting rid of their phones, or at least social media, and um embracing, or actually working to like exercise their brain, if that makes any sense, instead of just constantly feeding it and letting their brains become like couch potatoes. I say their brains as if like I'm not included in that, but yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna post this. I'm kind of just documenting this for myself, but maybe I will.